You feel like you're learning, like how to read defenses and things like that? And how much did you understand about that part of the game coming into Oklahoma when you enrolled?
What's funny is I thought I knew a lot until I started going against our defense, and Coach V just runs every type of coverage I think that's been invented. Seriously. You feel like enrolling early was a huge thing for you, like just the fact that you should still be in high school right now, right? Insane advantage. Anyone that's on the fence about doing it, I would say 1,000% do it, and it helps you a ton, but you also have a ton of fun doing it. With as much success as you've had in high school and as decorated as your high school career was, do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you when you get here? Like, I obviously realize there's pressure there. There can be pressure there if you put pressure on yourself. And I just try to alleviate all that by just keeping my mind focused on football and not focusing on the outside noise and what people's opinions are. I obviously won a Heisman, won a national championship, won all that stuff, but I just want to be remembered for being here. What's up, guys? We're back. It's the Next Up podcast. I'm your host, Adam Breneman. We're in Norman, Oklahoma, talking to the future of Oklahoma football. 5-star recruit, Gatorade Player of the Year, big time get for Oklahoma football, Jackson Arnold. Going to talk to him about his transition to college, what his expectations are, and what his goals are for his college career. Before we get there, hit that subscribe button and like this podcast, comment below, and share it with everyone you know. Share it with all the OU football fans. All your support allows us to travel around and get the best guests possible on here. We have tons more coming for y'all. Please subscribe to the podcast and truly appreciate all the support. Before we get back to the podcast, I got to tell you all about our newest sponsor of the Next Up podcast, Modern Mammals. You guys know I only want to promote and allow things to sponsor the podcast that I actually use. That's why I'm so fired up for Modern Mammals to be sponsoring the pod. Here's a story. About a year ago, I started noticing my hair wasn't feeling great, felt dry, just didn't feel super healthy. And I did a bunch of research around what I was using and putting in my hair with shampoo and realized what I was using was terrible for my hair. Shampoo is not good for your hair. That's when I came across Modern Mammals. It's a replacement for shampoo. So you can wash your hair, clean out all the oils without damaging your hair like shampoo does. I now use Modern Mammals every day. After I work out, use Modern Mammals in the shower. No more shampoo, completely cut out of my life. And my hair has never felt healthier or looked better. At least that's what my mom and grandma told me. So it's time you get rid of shampoo and go to modernmammals.com. Use my promo code ADAMB for free shipping at checkout. Get yourself some Modern Mammals today and get your hair healthier than it's ever been before. Modernmammals.com, promo code ADAMB at checkout for free shipping. And guys, supporting my sponsor supports the podcast, supports me, allows me to keep doing this. So please go support Modern Mammals at modernmammals.com, promo code ADAMB. Before we get to the pod, I want to tell you all about our newest sponsor, Athletic Greens. And let me tell you, when I found out about this sponsor, I was fired up because I've been using Athletic Greens for years, and I want to promote to you guys the things I actually use. I love Athletic Greens. As a former Division I athlete, I've tried countless supplements, and recently my nutrition and my health has become a bigger deal for me as I get farther away from my playing career. And let me tell you, Athletic Greens is the real deal, has me feeling healthy and energized every single day. With as much as I'm on the road, traveling, shooting podcasts, it's hard to have a healthy diet, hard to have healthy nutrition, hard for me to get my vitamins and minerals every single day. My doctor even told me that last time I saw him. But with Athletic Greens, I get 75 plus vitamins, minerals, and a bunch of other healthy things. I don't even know what they are, but I know they're good for you. And when I wake up every single day now, I feel energized. My digestion has never been better, and I'm ready to attack each and every day because of Athletic Greens and AG1. So if you want to take ownership of your health like I am right now, try AG1 today at drinkag1.com/nextup, and you get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs when you go to my link, tryag1.com/nextup. And guys, all of you who support this podcast, you guys supporting our sponsors helps me a ton. So please go support AG1 and support Next Up through the process and optimize your health and nutrition today. drinkag1.com/nextup. Check it out. Next Up. Appreciate you coming on, dude. I'm excited to talk to you. How do you feel like spring went? We'll start with that. You have a good spring ball? Yeah, I felt good. Pretty much did everything I wanted to, whether it was learning the playbook or just getting used to the environment that I was going to be jumping into. Felt that it went really well. I'd hope Coach Lebby would say the same. Yeah. But overall, I felt that I had a good spring.
What about the game? We were talking. You got to run a little bit. You used the wheels down the field.
Sir.
How'd you feel like the game went?
I feel like it went decent. There was stuff obviously we could fix as a unit, as a team. some mental bust that I had that I'd want back.
Yeah.
And but overall, could have played better, but it could have been a whole lot worse too. So I think we played pretty good.
You feel like you're learning, like how to read defenses and things like that. And how much did you understand about that part of the game coming into Oklahoma when you enrolled?
What's funny is I thought I knew a lot until I started going against our defense, and Coach V just runs every type of coverage I think that's been invented, seriously. And it's hard in practice because I'm getting all these looks, and sometimes I don't even know what's going on because they just bring so much stuff, whether that's pressure, they're rotating safety into a different coverage. Yeah. I thought I knew a lot until I came here and realized that that's definitely a part of my game that I need to work on. Yeah.
When it comes to Coach Lebby's offense, what's the most challenging part of picking it up?
Definitely the terminology and the way they teach it. Back in high school, whenever we had plays or installs and stuff, you kind of would just go over the play and here's the play, here's how it's ran, and you kind of have freedom to, coaches will give you guidelines of what to do and your freedom. But with Coach Lebby's system, you get these install cards, and on the cards they have the play, and they have our rules like a top down progression chart. Got it. You could say of rules, whether that's we get pressure like to our run. What are we doing here? We get pressure away from it. What are we doing here? And alongside that, whether it's pass plays, it could be like, is it a two high structure? Is it a single high structure? And if so, you have certain rules based off of that. So honestly, I really like it. It's actually helped me out a lot this spring, just kind of see, especially with the pass plays, the two high, one high structure thing, just kind of processing things in my head because we play at such a fast tempo that having those set rules and structures has helped me out tremendously. Yeah.
You feel like enrolling early was a huge thing for you, like just the fact that you should still be in high school right now, right? And
insane advantage. Yeah. Anyone that's on the fence about doing it, I would say 1,000% do it, and it helps you a ton, but you also have a ton of fun doing it. Maybe some people feel like they don't want to do it because they want to finish out high school, or they might feel isolated in a place like this, and it's the complete opposite. You meet all these new people, and you have other early enrollees that are coming in with you that you become friends with. But from a head start standpoint, it's insane. Learning the playbook. Going against, seeing how practices are ran, seeing how meetings are ran, going to class, just anything involving college, you just get a huge head start that, a lot of people that are going to come in summer are going to be a little bit behind, on that aspect, and also the physical aspect, like the strength and conditioning aspect, whether it's, knowing what Coach Smitty wants, how they, like the way they, I guess, lift weights or the way that we operate things, just a huge advantage. Yeah.
Let's talk about your recruiting process a little bit, and all the attention you got, all the coverage around it. Take me through, what that experience was like.
It was awesome. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Obviously, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, and so just try to handle that as best as I can. Take it day by day, but the recruiting process was awesome. I loved visiting all the schools that I went to. Loved the coaches that I met during the process. And, it was amazing for me. I know some people have different stories about the recruiting process, but personally I loved it.
What was your favorite visit of the process?
Favorite visit? I only took one official visit, and it was here, so I feel obligated to say that. But I feel like I really liked visiting Ole Miss, Ole Miss's campus and Notre Dame's campus. Thought that it was cool atmospheres. Cool spot, I really liked Oxford. I just liked the way that, I don't know, you get off a highway and you come into like this almost like paradise. Right it was really cool. But I honestly didn't visit a ton of places, but the ones that stood out the most was probably Oxford and Notre Dame, and obviously here. Yeah.
What's Coach Kiffin like at Ole Miss? What was it like getting recruited by him?
I really didn't get recruited much by Coach Kiffin. Yeah. It was more Lebby. Yeah. And that's obviously what started our whole relationship. Thing, and when he came here, got recruited here. But a little quiet. Yeah. But great dude, great coach. Nothing but good things to say about him. Yeah, that's sweet. So tell me about your relationship with Coach Lebby and kind of how that, how you ended up following him here, and how big of a part of that decision he was in coming to Oklahoma. Yeah, so that can go back almost like not for me, but for like I think like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, my head coach in high school was, I think he roomed with Coach Lebby at Baylor, like when they were GAs or whatnot. And so they were close. They've kept in touch, so they're still really good friends now. And so when our head coach came to my high school 3 years ago, got me connected with these coaches, and one of those coaches was Coach Lebby. So he told Coach Lebby, trust in this kid. He's got what it takes. And I think Coach Lebby and Ole Miss are my fourth offer, and that was before I even started a game on varsity. So knowing that a coach like Coach Lebby had that trust in me early on always stood out to me in my recruitment. And since he offered me, we talked every week, a couple times a week. Visited Ole Miss a couple times. Always knew I wanted to play for a coach like Coach Lebby, especially with the offense that he had. And when he came to OU, I realized that it's only 2.5 hours away. I'm here with a coach that I really want to play for. And just coming up and visiting and being around the entire coaching staff, I knew that this was an environment that I wanted to be in.
What was your first impression of Coach Venables?
Very high energy. I feel like that's everyone's response, very high energy, but that's just because he's very passionate about what he does, and it's very respectable. Obviously, been a very successful coach, defensive coordinator at OU and Clemson, and he's just writing his story now as a head coach, but he's an unbelievable coach, an unbelievable person.
What I want to ask you about, I read an article about when you got the National Gatorade Player of the Year award. Jason Witten presented it to you, right? Was that a cool experience, and did he give you any words of advice?
Yeah, very cool. And what was funny was I probably spent the next 3 hours with him too, because we had to do all these interviews for 247 and CBS and stuff. So I got to actually talk and get to know him. And I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, so I grew up like a Falcons fan. Yeah. I'm not from the Dallas area originally, so I've never been a Cowboys fan, but I always knew who Jason Witten was. So just talking to him, picking his brain about, I guess how he made it that far and how he prolonged his career in the NFL was just really cool and really insightful. Yeah.
Did he give you any advice that you can remember? Anything, any specific pieces of wisdom? Yeah,
just keep my head down and keep grinding. Nothing's given to you. Everything's earned. It was the same way for him, and it'll be the same thing for me.
Yeah. What's your relationship been like with Dillon Gabriel since you've been here? Has he been able to kind of take you under his wing and teach you some things? Obviously, he's seen a lot of college football.
Yeah, no doubt. My relationship with Dillon started back when I was still a recruit, when I committed, or even when I visited back in January. When I came and visited in January was his move-in day for OU when he transferred in.
Yeah.
So I was here experiencing everything with him the first day he was here, experiencing everything. So we connected then. Stayed in touch when I committed, stayed in touch, saw them a bunch throughout the games. And then since I've gotten here, not only Dillon, but Davis in general and everybody else in the quarterback room has also helped me out tremendously, taking me under their wing like I'm their little brother. Because, everyone in that room's I think 3 or 4 years older than me.
Old.
A good amount older than me. They're not 18. They didn't just graduate high school last year. So they definitely taken me under their wing, showed me around, whether it's campus or, the facility or whatnot, showed me around campus. And they've also helped me out with learning the playbook too, whether it's little things like, hey, what do you do here? Or even in practice, I'm like, coach me, what did I do wrong on this rep?
Yeah, that's cool. When you get to Oklahoma, a place like this, which is such a big program, storied tradition, with as much success as you've had in high school and as decorated as your high school career was, do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you when you get here? Before we get back to the pod, we got to talk about something super important. Fellas, I know you guys are using those sharp razors to shave your face and to shave your manly areas. I'm telling you, stop doing it. I was in your shoes. I was using regular razors, and then I found Manscaped. The Manscaped sponsored the pod a few months ago, and I started using their products. It has changed my routine and my life completely. I told you before about Smooth Sack Summer. It's now Fresh Ball Fall. You need fresh balls in the fall. There's no excuse not to be fresh. Let's be honest. We both know we go in a little bit nervous to our manly grooming routine with the regular old razors we use, but with Manscaped, it takes away any feeling of being nervous. I use the Lawnmower 4.0 when I'm doing my manly grooming. I use the beard hedger for my face, and the reviews have been immaculate. Just take my word on that one, boys. So I'm telling you, if you're using regular old razors, stop and use Manscaped. And you can go to manscaped.com and use my code ADAMB for 20% off and free shipping. I'm telling you guys, it's fresh ball fall. Using Manscaped will change your routine, change your manlyhood, and change your life. Manscaped.com, promo code ADAMB for 20% off and free shipping. Like, do you feel that when you come to a small town like this and the eyeballs are on you and everyone's talking about you?
Somewhat. I obviously realize there's pressure there. There can be pressure there if you put pressure on yourself. And I just try to alleviate all that by just keeping my mind focused on football and not focusing on the outside noise and what people's opinions are, who I probably wouldn't even take advice from in the first place. So.
That's a great point. Since you've been here, do you get recognized around campus a bunch and stuff? Has it been kind of
I
surreal?
do a little bit. I think the funniest ones are sitting next to kids in class who, on one day in class, first day in my class, I sat next to this kid. I introduced myself, and he was like, "Yeah, I know who you are." I'm just like,
okay. How do you know who I am?
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. As far as all the great quarterbacks that have come through OU, you just at the game yesterday, there was Kyler and Baker and all those guys. Have you gotten to meet any of those guys or talk to them, or did they help recruit you at all, or what's your relationship like with those guys?
They never recruited me at all, but what's funny is I actually just saw Kyler last night.
Oh, yeah.
I saw him. I was walking around last night in front of Pickleman's, and I see him. He's with the whole crew, got his bodyguards, and just dapped him up. He told me to keep my head down and keep grinding.
That's
so
cool.
that was pretty cool. But they never had a part in my recruitment, just because I think they were Coach Riley's guys.
Yeah, true.
So they kind of had to get a feel for Coach Venables and all before they kind of stepped in and started recruiting for them.
Yeah. What do you have a favorite former OU quarterback? Is there one that you look up to the most?
Not really. Like I said, I was born in Georgia, so I was growing up around different programs than OU, but I really liked watching Baker play.
Yeah, Baker's a dog, huh? Yeah. Yeah, he's a fun one to watch. Being at Texas, playing Texas high school football, did you feel like there was pressure to stay in Texas or maybe not pressure, but was that ever a thought to stay and go to UT or go to Texas A&M or one of those schools?
No, not really. I never felt pressured to stay in a certain spot. Obviously those schools were recruiting me, but I never felt I felt obligated to stay in the state. Yeah. Wanted to branch out and kind of see other campuses and whatnot, and ultimately chose to play outside of the state. So. Yeah.
What other than you mentioned Ole Miss, you mentioned OU. What were some of the other top schools that you were interested in or excited about?
Yeah, I was big on Notre Dame, Ohio State, Arkansas, and Georgia kind of came in late. Around summertime. Okay. I got that offer. I didn't even post that one because I didn't want to stir up OU fans or get them riled up for that. But I grew up a Georgia fan, so I obviously thought about it a little bit. Decided it wasn't the best move, but I think those four schools stood out the most.
Yeah. So Georgia came in at the end of the process. Yeah. Did you ever consider taking an OV there or?
No, it was more. I was just talking to Coach Smart, and it was pretty cool because that was the school I grew up watching. Yeah. So when they texted me, I was kind of excited because that was my dream school when I was a kid. Yeah. But at the same time, I realized that I love the situation I'm in. I love the coaching staff that's at OU, and this is the place I want to play at. I really could care less if Georgia was my dream school. Then Oklahoma's where I want to be now. So.
What's been the biggest adjustment to college life that you've had to, were you 17 when you got to campus?
No, I was 18.
18, yeah. So you're young when you got here. What was the biggest part of adjusting to it?
Honestly, I adjusted pretty well. Nothing ever really threw me for. Yeah, it came pretty easy. Nothing ever threw me for a loop. Yeah. In high school, when on the football side of it, in high school, our lifts were pretty much the same. Yeah. Conditioning, on the other hand, is extremely different.
Really?
Coach Smitty goes hard with the conditioning, so that was a lot different. But football-wise, it wasn't too much of a transition. Practices are a lot different. But, school-wise, it's not been that bad either. The classes aren't bad, and I honestly like only have I have 2 classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and 1 class on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
It's not bad at all, right?
So it's extremely nice, yeah.
During spring ball, when you got here, like maybe it's conditioning, maybe it's lifting, did you have a moment when you got here and I always call it like your welcome to college football moment, where it was like the game was moving really fast or you were struggling or anything?
Yeah, it was our first day of fourth quarters, which is like, it's our conditioning. Like I was saying, Coach Schmidt goes hard, and it wasn't in January, it was in February sometime, and it was our first day, like conditioning, and the day before, people were telling me this is going to be really hard, but the day before, I was meeting with Coach Lebby, and I asked him about the fourth quarters, and he's like, buddy, this is the hardest thing you will ever do. And I was kind of scared me a little bit. And then the next day, sure enough, we had 8 stations set up, 3.5 minutes at each station, and you're just going. Like you're in each station, it's like cone drills and stuff, and like a three cone drill, L drill, all that stuff, and you're just going, and you keep on going until the horn blows, and your only break is waiting in the line, and you don't stop until those 8 stations are done. Then you take a lap around the field, then you go do 4 more. And it was brutal. The first day, I almost threw up. It was pretty bad.
You were struggling?
Yeah.
So is it what are some? You said the L drill, the cone drill. Is it like just like agility stuff?
Yeah, it's just agility stuff, and it gets you.
But it's for conditioning.
Yeah, it's for conditioning. I think it's more of like a mental thing, honestly, just wearing you down, and obviously it is conditioning your body. But it's more of like stay locked in with your teammates, stay focused, stay positive about it all, and just push through this with each other.
The worst part is not knowing how much time's left too, right? Yeah.
The worst part, yeah.
You're just in your head about it the whole time. Did your first practice this spring, did you feel like the game wasn't, everyone talks about how much faster the game is when you get to college. Did you feel like that at all, or you feel like it was pretty
honestly,
natural?
The first day of practice was a little bit fast. Obviously, my first practice is probably the worst practice I've had since being here, obviously. Yeah. But it honestly wasn't as fast as I thought the transition from high school to college would be. And I think that can be attributed to, one, the competition we played in Texas high school football. Like, there's good players there. It's obviously not near as good as how it is in college. But game speed-wise, college is obviously faster, but it wasn't too far off. And then playing in the Under Armour game is what helped me the most, because playing in that game was a lot faster. I noticed that then, but that speed is like the same as college speed, so that really helped me prepare for what we've been doing.
What was the Under Armour game experience like? Was that pretty cool? I played the Under Armour game too back at it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah. I don't know what y'all did when you went there, but we had one night we went to Top Golf. One night we went go-karting and like laser tag and stuff. So it was really fun, and it was more of like a Pro Bowl type setting. That's what they wanted it to be like. Yeah. They didn't want, like the year before they had like 2 days for practices and stuff, and it was like a more of a bowl game, like you're actually trying to win the game kind of mentality when I was there. Yeah, and it was a competitive atmosphere, and practices were competitive and they were long, but this year they wanted to be more laid back, more of like a Pro Bowl type thing. I think they did a great job. They gave us the breaks that we needed, let our bodies rest, and let us have fun with each other.
Who was your head coach in the Under Armour game?
Coach Johnson.
Oh, cool. Okay, sweet.
He's the head coach at Mission Vale High School.
Yeah. Okay, cool. In your recruiting, like, you got recruited right in the middle of NIL, like right as NIL was happening. Texas had like their own unique NIL laws in the state. How much of a factor did NIL play in your recruitment, and like what were the conversations like with college programs? Like, were they mentioning it to you all the time? Before we get back to the podcast, I got to tell you all about our newest sponsor of the Next Up podcast, Modern Mammals. You guys know I only want to promote and allow things to sponsor the podcast that I actually use. That's why I'm so fired up for Modern Mammals to be sponsoring the pod. Here's the story. About a year ago, I started noticing my hair wasn't feeling great, felt dry, just didn't feel super healthy. I did a bunch of research around what I was using and putting in my hair with shampoo, and realized what I was using was terrible for my hair. Shampoo is not good for your hair. That's when I came across Modern Mammals. It's a replacement for shampoo. So you can wash your hair, clean out all the oil, oils without damaging your hair like shampoo does. I now use Modern Mammals every day. After I work out, use Modern Mammals in the shower. No more shampoo, completely cut out of my life. And my hair has never felt healthier or looked better. At least that's what my mom and grandma told me. So it's time you get rid of shampoo and go to modernmammals.com. Use my promo code ADAMB for free shipping at checkout. Get yourself some Modern Mammals today and get your hair healthier than it's ever been before. Modernmammals.com, promo code ADAMB at checkout for free shipping. And guys, supporting my sponsor supports the podcast, supports me, allows me to keep doing this. So please go support Modern Mammals at modernmammals.com, promo code ADAMB.
Yeah, I tried not to make my recruitment around NIL, because I feel like that just maybe pushes college coaches away a little bit. I tried to make it more about where I wanted to be, rather than how much money I'm going to get. And, some coaches would obviously throw out certain things, like if you come here, you can get this and whatnot. But I tried to push that part out of it and just focus on the most important parts to me, like the culture, the environment, the fit for me, the offensive playbook, and I think NIL was probably the last of my important list.
Did you get any crazy NIL offers from when you were in?
No, I never got actually offered stuff.
Yeah,
there were talks like you could come out and make a name for yourself and you can get paid then, but I never got offered like a certain amount or certain things or anything.
Yeah, you probably could have demanded a whole lot if you wanted to, but you were focused on the right stuff. So, when you since you've been at OU, like how have the NIL opportunities been? Has been fun to obviously you guys have like Crimson and Cream and that stuff. Has that been cool?
Yeah, it has been cool, and it's been really really easy to work with too. The Crimson and Cream Collective, showing up to events like this or showing up to autograph events. It's fun stuff that I enjoy doing. And you do get paid for the collective and stuff, but it's not like a hassle to do this stuff. I actually enjoy doing these things, and it's cool getting paid alongside of it. I think that's really cool about NIL now is college athletes are making
money.
Yeah, they're making money now. When back then they were making a name for themselves, but they weren't making any money alongside of that. You
were a really good baseball player, right?
Oh,
decent. That's what someone told me earlier. Was like Jackson was really good at baseball.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to talk myself up, but I was good. I played for a long time.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of college interest, and then once I started getting football offers, kind of stopped focusing as much on baseball.
Yeah. But I was going to ask if you ever thought about playing both in college.
No, I got asked to.
Yeah.
I talked to I forgot our baseball head coach's name. Here, but I saw him at the spring game last year, and he was asking me. He's like,
"Wanted to play?"
He's like, Kyler played. But Kyler played 2 sports. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good, coach.
That's funny.
I'll stick with football."
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, maybe. What position do you play?
Played outfield.
Oh, you're outfield. So you're a big hitter.
Sure.
What you got? Some high school stats for us? Like, what were you hitting?
God, I don't remember my stats exactly, but sophomore year, first year on varsity, I think I had hit like 330 in district, something like that. But that's like the only thing I can remember.
That's sweet. What would you do what are you gonna do when you're done playing football?
I'm a finance major, so hopefully something in the finance industry. Like
New York City finance, bro. I don't know.
That'd be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, that's cool. How are classes hard? Like how's the getting adjusted to that?
No, they really aren't too bad.
Yeah.
They can be. There's some weeks where I have a lot of work, whether that's a bunch of essays due in a week for a test that I'm taking. But, I mean, I've managed it pretty well. I have good grades, and it's come pretty easy to me so far.
Yeah, cool. Why do you think Texas high school football is different than every other state? Like, what makes it different in Texas?
I think it's just the coaches and the community cares more.
Yeah.
I think that's what it comes down
like
to.
College.
I feel like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like college. I mean, you have athletes in every state, but, I feel like the coaches and the community is more invested into it. And, when your community is invested more into your program, you can get, better weight sets or, better facilities that help your players out, help them to get stronger, get faster, and everything. And the coaches are more better quality coaches. And then, some other states. Obviously, you got your Californias, your Georgias, your Floridas, and your Texas. All those people are really invested into football, but, the coaches care more. The bunch of Texas high school football coaches come from big football backgrounds, big football coaching backgrounds, and just they know what they're doing. I see coaches going to clinics all the time. We had about 300 high school coaches here at OU's clinic, and I'm assuming the majority of them were local from Texas too. Just coming up and learning because they care so much about their job and about football and something they're very passionate about. They're able to coach kids up very well and just produce a very good team.
Yeah. Since you got to campus here, have you gotten stronger in the weight room and put on some weight and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't measure how much stronger I've gotten, but I've put on around 6 or 7 pounds since I've gotten here. Been able to maintain it too. So it's been good. I'm going to try to get to 215 by fall.
Oh, cool.
I'm sitting at 211, 212 right now. So.
Sweet. Big boy. How tall are you?
6'1", 6'2".
6'2", yeah. What's the hardest lift for you?
Bench, for
really?
sure. I've got such long arms that it's just it's bad. But I'm good with clean and good with squat, but bench gets me a little bit.
Some programs don't even let quarterbacks bench anymore. That's a whole.
Yeah, we do a lot of dumbbell bench.
We
did it a lot during spring. Maybe we go back to more traditional bench in the summer while we're, I guess, transformation phase.
Yeah.
But we dumbbell benched in the spring, and I'm assuming we'll probably do that in the fall too.
Yeah. What's one thing that, as you approach this off season, the summertime, that you're trying to work on personally, maybe an area that you need to improve at coming out of spring ball?
Yeah, working on just defensive coverages.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, it's hard going against Coach V's offense or Coach V's defense. He runs so much stuff, and just identifying everything and processing it quickly too, because we play so fast that you might only get a second or two to ID the defense before you snap the ball again. So stuff like that. Footwork too, just refining that. In high school, I didn't really have a certain set of footwork that I was supposed to use that the coaches told me to use, and now when I got here with Coach Lebby, we're doing things a certain way.
Yeah, you were just slinging it around the yard.
Yeah, just footwork was all over the place, and now it's a lot more refined. It was better in the game. It could have been a lot better though, but I'm getting there. Just refining little stuff like that.
Take me through your pre-snap routine at the line of scrimmage. What are you looking at pre-snap? What's going through your head as you walk? I mean, not break the huddle because you guys aren't huddling, but what are you doing pre-snap?
Looking over to the sideline, getting the signal, and when I get the signal, it depends on what type of play it is, pass or run play. Pass play, looking at the safeties, just seeing, is it one high, is it two high, potential coverages that I could get. And when it's a run play, looking at the box, is it loaded, is it not loaded, thinking about certain things that I can do with the ball pre-snap. And then, we're rolling from there. It's very fast in between snaps.
Has the protection part of it come easy to you? I know there's a lot of, in the college offense, a lot of times you're able to, you got to see where blitzes are coming, who's hot, redirecting protection. I'm not sure if you did that in high school or not.
Yeah, I really didn't do that in high school, and that's kind of set me back a little bit. Coach Lebby wants us, changing protection sometimes when we get certain looks, and that's definitely something I need to get better at, something I struggle with a little bit. But, but it's stuff that I can easily fix too. Yeah. Just learning how certain fronts work and, tipping pressures and stuff where I can, maybe call protection into the pressure. Yeah. Just stuff like that.
What would you say your personal goal is for this coming season?
Just soak up as much as I can under DG and learn from him, and just have a great time this year too. Sometimes it sucks being a backup just because you're not getting the spotlight, you're not playing, but just soaking up and learning as much as I can this year while enjoying it. I think will be the best thing for me this year.
I want to hear. I asked a bunch of the other guys this question too, but obviously with how highly recruited you were, I'm sure coaches were hounding you all the time, coming after you. What's the funniest or craziest thing a coach said to you during the recruiting process? Don't have to tell me who the coach is, but before we get to the pod, I want to tell you all about our newest sponsor, Athletic Greens. And let me tell you, when I found out about this sponsor, I was fired up because I've been using Athletic Greens for years, and I want to promote to you guys the things I actually use. I love Athletic Greens. As a former Division I athlete, I've tried countless supplements, and recently my nutrition and my health has become become a bigger deal for me as I get farther away from my playing career. And let me tell you, Athletic Greens is the real deal. Has me feeling healthy and energized every single day. With as much as I'm on the road, traveling, shooting podcasts, it's hard to have a healthy diet, hard to have healthy nutrition, hard for me to get my vitamins and minerals every single day. My doctor even told me that last time I saw him. But with Athletic Greens, I get 75 plus vitamins, minerals, and a bunch of other healthy things. I don't even know what they are, but I know they're good for you. And when I wake up every single day now, I feel energized. My digestion has never been better, and I'm ready to attack each and every day because of Athletic Greens and AG1. So if you want to take ownership of your health like I am right now, try AG1 today at drinkag1.com/nextup, and you get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs when you go to my link, tryag1.com/nextup. And guys, all of you who support this podcast, you guys supporting our sponsors helps me a ton. So please go support AG1 and support Next Up through the process and optimize your health and nutrition today. drinkag1.com/nextup. Check it out. Anyone say anything that's just desperate or coaches can say some wild stuff?
No, I never had anything crazy happen to me. I did have some coaches get mad when I committed here, but other than I never heard anything wild like being desperate trying to get me there or anything, nothing like that. But yeah. I did have some coaches get mad at me for committing here, but other than that, it was pretty straightforward.
When you say get mad, they just were calling you all upset and stuff.
Yeah, just disappointed that I didn't go there, but at the end of the day, I went where I felt was best for me. So.
Were those conversations hard when you had to when you picked Oklahoma?
That was probably the hardest part. Yeah, honestly, it's harder than committing. Yeah, just because I built relationships with those coaches, got close to those coaches. They came and visited me. I went and visited them. And you just create these relationships and these bonds that sometimes you like the coach so much you don't want to let go of that bond. I'm sure you felt the same way through your recruitment, but it sucks telling them no. Mm-hmm. It was harder than telling Coach Lebby yes, but it was tough. But I think it's better to tell them that than just to commit and not tell them. Honestly, just kind of give them a heads up, say thank you for recruiting me and all, but I think it's better than just not telling them.
How much how excited are you to be able to play in the SEC in a couple of years? And did that? Yeah. I'm not sure what the timing was there. Was that part of your decision process to come here?
I mean, not really. It's not that's not what made me choose OU over other schools, but it's obviously a huge opportunity for us to become a better team and play in a great conference. I grew up in the Southeastern Conference, watching all those teams, and SEC ball was all I knew growing up pretty much. So it'll be exciting to play, the teams that I grew up watching.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. It'd be good. I mean, when you take over the reins, it'll probably be year 1 or 2 in the SEC. That'll be exciting.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be sweet. I'm excited to see that. I asked DG this question too. What would you say is in your young career is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I would just say I've had multiple people tell me this, so I couldn't single anybody out, but it's just to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I realized that this spring, I was working my butt off so much that I wasn't giving myself, any free time or just giving myself any time to, I guess, enjoy being in college. Yeah. And, I got to a point in the spring where we're just going, and I was sometimes I didn't want to go to practice because it was just a lot being thrown at me, and I wasn't having fun at some point. Yeah. And then, at that point, I just kind of stepped back. It was great, kind of stepped back and was I'm grateful I'm in the position I am and just kind of enjoying it from here on out, and worked out good, had good practices after that, and just learned to, have fun while doing it and enjoy doing it. Yeah. You have a favorite Coach Venables saying yet? I know he's got a lot of them. No, I mean, what's funny is I hear his speech he always talks about Gandhi. Oh, really? I'll hear it maybe twice or 3 times a year. And it's funny because it's the first thing he told me on my recruiting trip. And when I hear him tell it again, it's funny to me.
He can talk, huh? He loves his speeches.
Our post-practice speeches last a good while.
It's funny. A bunch of the dudes, everyone we've interviewed has talked about. They said he gave a speech like last Thursday that was like an hour long after practice.
52 minutes. Yeah.
50, you were timing it.
Yeah, I think someone did time. It was 52 minutes. It was long.
That's hilarious. What's he talking about for 52 minutes?
It starts off as like, he's teaching us a lesson. Mm-hmm. He talks about practice and then leads that into a lesson. And then that lesson always leads into a story. And that story leads into a lesson. And that lesson leads into another story. And it just keeps on going. And it got to the point the other day where it led to our accountability points. So we have like these accountability teams where you get points for doing good in academics, doing good with our soul mission program, sports nutrition, sports medicine. You get points for all these. And I guess Coach V wanted to talk about the accountability points. So he flipped through every single team and talked about the people that had like 10 plus points. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot. There's probably like 20 people. Mm-hmm. And for each individual person, he would have like a 1.5-minute speech about each person. And so it lasted a long time.
That's hilarious. Yeah. It's just funny because literally everyone's mentioned that to us.
Yeah.
Give me your this may be a tough question. If you're a GM right now, who are the three? What order are you drafting the quarterbacks in this year's draft?
I'm taking Bryce Young first, CJ Stroud second. Then honestly, I really like Anthony Richardson as a prospect.
Yeah.
I just think he can freaking sling the ball. Mm-hmm. And he's crazy athletic too. So I feel like if you draft him that high and he doesn't work out at quarterback, you could put him at tight end and he would be extremely productive too. So I think I'd go in that order right there.
Did you forget about Will Levis? Or
No, I mean, I didn't forget about him. I think he's good.
Yeah.
But I think that, Bryce Young played at a higher level. Playing at Bama, you have athletes all around you too that are going to help you be successful. But Bryce Young was more productive, played arguably better competition just with the sheer amount of ranked teams they played. Yeah. And CJ Stroud just been producing ever since he's got to Ohio State, just dicing it up every single week.
Yeah, I feel like people forget like how great of a career CJ Stroud had. Like he's literally probably the best passer in Ohio State history.
Yeah.
But yeah, who are your top 3 QBs in the NFL?
I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm not gonna lie. I just like watching him throw the ball. I think it's really impressive. Yeah. So I like Aaron Rodgers, like Patrick Mahomes, obviously, and I really like Josh Allen too. Mm-hmm.
We DG told us his top 3 were like Marcus Mariota.
He
said Tua and someone else is his top 3. I'm like,
you know what's funny is he said that to us the other day too, and I was like, why did he say them? And I was like, oh yeah, Dillon's from Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was a little bit of a bias. Top 3. What in 10 years from now, when Oklahoma fans, whoever thinks of Jackson Arnold, what do you want them to think about?
I obviously want a Heisman, want a national championship, want all that stuff. But I just want to be remembered for being here, just being a quarterback that everyone can, like the question you asked me, like what's your favorite OU quarterback or which one do you look up to the most? I want to be that one of those guys that people say, be remembered here, be remembered for, not only on the football side, but off the field too, a great character, a great person, all of the above. Just want to be remembered here as one of the greats.
Yeah. Did you get to see I guess you were at halftime, but, just having someone like Kyler come back and like doing the Heisman, his statue and everything, like is that motivating to like see that and be like, I want to be there someday?
Yeah, no doubt. I watched that one. I also watched Baker's last year.
Yeah.
And, speaking in front of that many people, it was obviously a really cool experience for both of them. And it's something I hope to experience too one day.
Yeah, that's sweet. Tell me what the worst piece of advice someone's told you is.
Worst piece of advice.
Like someone or a coach told you, you're like, that's just bad advice, and don't listen to it.
God, I can't even remember. I can't remember like any coach advice, but sometimes when it's not like, this isn't bad advice. This is honestly kind of good advice, mixed to bad advice. Whenever I was in high school games last year, I'd have like the O-line say stuff to me sometimes like, why'd you throw the ball? Like, you should have handed it off there. And I'm like, well, that's really dumb for you saying that. And then the coaches will come and be like, don't listen to them. That's bad advice. Stuff like that.
Never listen to the offensive line. They just don't know.
Not never listen to them, but, maybe it's a perimeter screen. We have the numbers to block it, and we don't get yards because we don't block well. Yeah. And they're like, well, we had the run good.
They don't understand.
They just don't understand sometimes, yeah.
I love it. Last thing I got for you, what's your why? Why do you do what you do?
I mean, honestly, I just love playing the game.
Yeah.
It's brought so much joy to me and my family. My dad played college football back in the 90s and brought him joy, and he taught the game to me, and it's been with me throughout my entire life. I honestly don't know life without football and without sports, and I feel like, it's just part of me at this point. Yeah. I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah, I love it, man. Well, I'm excited to watch your career. I have no doubt that it'll end, like you said, man, in a Heisman Trophy. I'm excited to see how it all ends up for you, and glad you picked OU, man. It's a good spot for you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate your time.